Alrighty guys, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build these menus at the top of your application. And before we get started, I actually just want to go over some terminology real quick and explain exactly how we're going to be putting this together. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building the individual menus. So for example, this is a file menu, this is an edit menu, this is a view menu. You of course usually have maybe like 5 or 6 menus in every single piece of software. So after we create the menu, we're going to start adding the items. So all of the options in this little drop down list, these are called the menu items. So we have a menu made up of a bunch of different menu items, and then once we have a bunch of different menus built, we're going to add them all to the menu bar. And that's this entire area at the top of your screen. And for this little demo, I'm actually using a border pane layout, and I like it because whenever you use a border pane layout, it gives you the top, left, center, right, and bottom, and you can just take your entire menu bar and stick it right on top, and it works perfectly. So anyways, the first thing that we need to do is we actually need to create a menu before we can actually stick any items in it. So I'll just say file menu. I'll just kind of make a little clone of this, but I'll make my own custom ones. Alright, so this is type menu, and you can name it anything you want. I'm going to name it file menu, and you set it equal to new menu, and for the constructor it takes one parameter, which is a string, and that's what text do you want to appear right here. So if I just write file, then what's going to happen is this button right here is going to say file, not the individual items. Didn't get to those yet, just this button. So that's what that does. And now once we have a menu, we can start sticking items into it. So I'll say menu items. Alright, so how do we add items to this menu? Well, you first need to get the menu, which is file menu, and then you call get items. So just like before, it needs to know what items are already in it before we start sticking any new ones in. And even if it's your first item, you still have to call get items, doesn't matter. And then the next thing you call is add. Now add allows you to add one menu item to this menu. So what we can actually do is we can create a new object and name it something, or we can just do this really easily. In order to create a menu item, you just call a new menu item, and then you give it the title. So what was the title of this first menu item? New project ... So new project ... So there you go. We now have a file menu, and we have one item added to it. And what was the other ones? New module, import project. New module, import project. Alright, so we have a file menu, and we now have the first 3 items added to it. So I'll show you guys some other cool stuff in just a second, but for now I just want to keep things really simple. So whenever you have a menu set up and you have all your items added to it, what you have to do now is you need to add it to a menu bar. So I'll say the main menu bar. Alright, now you guys can probably guess what the object this is. I'll just name it menu bar, and you set it equal to new menu bar. Now this doesn't take any title or anything because again, no text appears on here. It's just the text that's on your individual menus, so you don't need to do anything to that. Now after this, we need to start adding the individual menus to it. Now typically we're going to have a bunch of them, like file menu, edit menu, view menu. However, we only have one menu right now, so it's going to look kind of goofy, but whatever. So menu bar, get menus, add, and I'll just write add all even though I just have one for right now. And what is the name of the menu that you want to add to the menu bar? Well, it's file menu. And I actually have to layout. I don't think that. Alright, this is just for my border pane layout. Set the top equal to menu bar. So basically what I'm saying is I have a border pane layout. I'm gonna build this menu bar, and then I'm going to stick it in the top section of this border pane. So let me just go ahead and run this real quick and show you guys what's going on. So look how awesome this program is. The plainest program ever. But basically we have a file menu and we can click it, new project, new module, import project. Of course when we click these nothing happens yet because we didn't add any functionality, but I'll show you guys how to do that right now. And actually before I continue, I want to mention one thing. You see how whenever I create a menu I added these 3 little dots? These actually mean something. If you click any menu in any piece of software, you see that some options have dots and some don't. For example, exit. Whenever a menu item has dots after it, it means whenever you click it, a new window or a new dialog is going to open. Whenever it has this arrow, it means there's a submenu, and whenever it has nothing, it just means that that's the only option. So again, for example, whenever you hit exit, it just closes your program and there's nothing else to do. So dots mean there's something else to do, arrow means a submenu, and no dots or no arrow just means that's it.